What's up, game players? How are you guys doing? I'd like to welcome you guys to another episode of the Analog Circle Podcast. Now, you guys hear the music. You know what that means. You already know what that means. That means it's still prizes up for grabs, people. Nobody has called in and nobody has emailed in for the contest. Maybe it's because the game is just that hard and you guys can't figure it out, but it's all good because don't worry, I'm gonna throw on another track for you guys to be able to participate, and maybe this one will be slightly easier, but nonetheless, we're gonna jump right into it with the Name That Game. Now, up for grabs is a chance to win a $25 Xbox Live gift card, or you can also purchase, or not even purchase, but win a PlayStation Store gift card. So, for anybody that's interested, all you have to do is email your answers to the Analog Circle Podcast at gmail.com or call 443-261-4607. Leave a voicemail, and with the voicemail, make sure that you leave your email address so if you are the winner, I can email you the code. So, let's jump on into it, people. Name that game. See if y'all can get it, folks. And welcome back, game players. Now, if you guys want to participate in this, once again, I'm going to give you guys a hint first. Now, this game was actually released on the PlayStation 2. It involves a certain character, and I'm going to leave it at that. It was on the PlayStation 2. He found a lot of success. This character managed to make it to the PlayStation 3. I'm not going any further than that. But that is the music to that game. So if you think you have the answer and you would love to get a $25 Xbox gift card or a $20 PlayStation Store gift card, then feel free to leave your answer at, once again, the Analog Circle Podcast at gmail.com or call it in at 443-261-4607. I want to welcome you guys to episode number 49, which will be the final episode of this year. My goodness, this year has been a complete blur. It has come and gone so fast, folks. I can't even believe it's over. It's it. Next week is it. So, we're in the holiday season. Christmas is going on, or Christ mess is going on right now. Everybody's in a rush. Everybody's in a hurry. Everybody's trying to do the last minute shopping. I've been there. I was doing it myself. And, I managed to make it through. So hopefully for any of you guys that have to do this last minute shopping gig, hopefully you make it through the doggone rush. But outside of that, man, I have said enough. It is time to get into the daggone stuff that happened. We're gonna start it off with Xbox, with Microsoft. Now, Xbox is on a roll. Now, some more games have been added to backwards compatibility. By now, I'm sure you guys know about these, but I must say, in a shocking turn of events, despite being released for the current gen consoles, all 3 BioShocks are backwards compatible. And just to add a little bit of a cherry on the top, folks, I believe Bully is actually backwards compatible as well. So Rockstar's giving that love. Oh, they're giving them some love. But the thing that I find so interesting about this other thing, all 3 BioShocks were remade or remastered and made for the Xbox One, for the PlayStation 4. They are putting these out there where you can play the original. And I have BioShock Infinite, and let me tell you, I've been playing it, and that game still holds up very, very well. Graphically, it still looks really, really good. So I was very shocked, very happy, but Microsoft, they continue to support this backwards compatibility, and I am very, very much so a big fan of it. Moving on into some more Microsoft news. Now, Microsoft has they haven't just, it's been a couple days now, but they have released an update to the Xbox One that will increase the download speeds on the console. Now, if you have a connection speed of 100 megabytes per second, you will be able to download files up to 80% faster. Now, if your connection is less than 100 megabytes per second, you will see up to and now that's the key word, up to a 40% faster download speed. Now, of course, the download speeds will depend on if a game is running in the background or not, because gameplay is prioritized over background downloading. It will also be influenced by network connection with the home and the home and at the ISP level. So I must tell you guys, I was on a downloading, not a frenzy, but I was downloading, quite a few things, not even a few things, basically one thing, which was BioShock Infinite. And I'm going to tell y'all, I didn't see a difference. I did not see a difference. And I fall into that category, 100 megabytes per second. I did not see an increase. Maybe some of you guys did, but I did not. Hopefully it's true. I'm not denying that Microsoft is doing the work. I'm not denying that it's something that is true or could be happening at a specific time. But I'm just saying, for me right now, as it stands, no way. I did not see any difference. Moving on to the next situation. Being released on January 4th, MX versus ATV Supercross Encore 2017 will be available for the PlayStation 4, the PC, and Xbox One. There will be a limited time physical release selling for $39.99. Now, this will include 16 races from the 2017 Supercross season, except Daytona. And if you own the game already, where it's available on the PlayStation 4 store, actually already for $29.99, it's actually available right now, but you can buy a DLC pack for $19.99 where you will get a new track each week. Now, I don't know how many weeks they're going to give you a track. I'm sure it's going to run out eventually, but for any of you guys that are into these games, these MX and, versus ATV, hey, it's coming out, physical release 2017, $40. I say jump on it. If you don't want to get that and you already own it on the PlayStation 4 store, $19.99, get the DLC and get a new track every week. Run around. Moving on, the Nintendo. God dog it, Nintendo. This is Nintendo news. Now, the Nintendo Classic, oh man, thumbs down on that, because Nintendo just won't do what they supposed to do. They're always putting it in short supply. They never give enough. They you know what? Let's just get to the story. Darn it. Now, the Nintendo Classic has been God dog it, very hard to come by in retailers to this day. So with that being the case, how many units did they sell? You might be wondering. Well, according to the NPDs, they actually sold 196,000 units in November. 196. Now you might be saying, wow, pretty good numbers. But what about their homeland? What about Japan? How well did it do over there? Well, according to the Media Creates numbers, which must be their I guess equal to NPD's numbers, the Nintendo Famicom, the doggone Famicom, which is called over there, not the Nintendo. The Famicom Mini sold listen to this number, over 261,000 units in a week. In 1 week, that's 65,000, god dog, and I'm all tongue-tied, more units that they sold compared to the whole month over here in the States. We got 196. They sold 261,000 in a week. Now what is going on? That's bogus, Nintendo. You gave your home doggone land more than you did over here. I understand you're looking out for your own. I get it. But god dog, that says to me that this thing should not be in a short demand. They doggone sold that in a week. It took us a month to get 196,000. That means that they undercut the U.S. market by a big margin. I mean, come on, Nintendo. Do you not get enough support in the States? Do the States not give you the love that you want to get? Did the Wii not sell well? It ain't the daggone State's fault. That is not selling well. The Wii U, that is, didn't sell too well. Hey, you played yourself. Congratulations, Nintendo. And you really played yourself on this one, because if you wanted to make money, guess what, Nintendo? Guess what? This was the time to strike, to doggone get in there and do what you gotta do. It's the holiday season. People are throwing money at the daggone register. Nintendo, you get a F on your report card for this situation. Moving on to the next story in PlayStation VR news. Ark Park Dinosaur Experience will release in 2017, which will be based on giving the game player an immersive VR experience, being able to get up close and personal with tropical rainforests, primal environments, expansive plains, and snow-covered mountains, as well as being able to look at dinosaurs up close and personal. Also, during this excursion, you will be on foot. You'll be riding on dinosaurs or riding in vehicles. Yes, this game is coming out. I don't know when, but hey, for you guys that have the PlayStation VR, this sounds really cool. I got to tell you something really quickly. I was playing Battlefield VR back in Best Buy. That was what, about 2 weeks ago, I believe. And let me tell you, the first screen you see when you start that game up, I didn't go into detail about this last time, but you see a walker, this walking by the screen. And let me tell you, the scope of the walker really makes it look like you are actually in a daggone environment where the walker really exists. You can see the mass scope of this thing. You're looking at it from the bottom like, wow, man, this thing is huge. I can see it. It does something that 3D doesn't quite do. I don't know. It really immerses you in there. It was great. So for you to be able to have a VR game where you can get up close with a T-Rex, okay, with a pterodactyl, okay, a triceratops, breathing out their nose, just, and you can actually just be there listening to it and up close and personal, looking at him in his eyes. This could be something very, very great, especially for people who love dinosaurs. I mean, VR, we all know it's deeper than gaming. It has a whole scope to bring a whole nother level of immersion to movies as well as learning experiences. So this has me very, very interested to be able to go through a rainforest, different tropical places, primal environments, all of this stuff, and then to ride on the back of a daggone dinosaur. Hey man, you can count me in. I don't have the PlayStation VR yet, but hopefully the price drops and then you can really count me in. But we'll see what happens when this comes out. Moving on into some more news now. Into actually some Street Fighter 5 news. Now it looks like Capcom, I give them props for this. It looks like Capcom is trying to crack down on rage quitting. Yeah, that's right. You quitters out there, they get all upset and mad when somebody starts getting the better of you and you say, you know what, forget it. I'm gonna hit this start button and I'm gonna quit on you. Now, guess who's laughing? This is aimed at y'all. Y'all make me so sick. But moving into this story. Now, they're trying to crack down on this rage quitting, which is something very common in fighting games. Now, by being branded, this is what they're gonna do. Now, by being branded with a specific badge, you guys out there that are quitting, that are sore losers, that hate to lose, that want to quit and rob the person of that victory over you, guess what, buddy? They're gonna hit you with a nice specific badge where you will be branded as a daggone quitter. Quitting, rage quitting all early and mad and stuff. Don't get salty, my friend. Get better. But not to make it all negative. Also, for players that don't rage quit, they too will get a badge. Now, the thing is there is no specific date when this update will be implemented into the game, but it is something that they're working on. And you know what, Capcom? You know what? You get a daggone clap, because it's the worst thing ever when you're getting the best of somebody, whether it's in Madden, whether it's in 2K, whether it's in UFC, whatever you're playing. It is a catastrophe when you are putting on a clinic on somebody and all of a sudden you see that they left the match. Oh, cut it out, knock it off. Just finish out the match. It's been many times I've been in the daggone octagon. I got knocked out. Doggone, what was my favorite game, man? I can't even think of the name of it. The boxing game, Fight Night. I used to love getting on Fight Night. Sometimes I would win. Most of the time I lost. Most of the time I was swinging for my life. And it didn't matter because they would hit me with a daggone double cross and I was down. I was so frustrated and angry. But the last thing I did was quit. I said, you know what? Good match. The better player won. So you guys out there that are into Street Fighter 5 that love to play, don't worry. Some relief is coming soon. So when you see that daggone badge show up with that guy that's quitting, you know, man, I'ma dodge this guy. I'm not gonna play his game because he gonna get mad and quit. So, kudos to you, Capcom. Some of you other people, y'all need to get y'all stuff together and do the same. Stop this daggone rage quitting and give them a daggone penalty. Shoot, I mean, even in hockey, after you fight and you knock a person out on the ice, you still get put in the penalty box. God dog. Moving on, I don't know what that had to do with anything, but moving on, The Division. Now we're gonna move into something that The Division has going on. The Division has just gotten an update that is entitled 1.10 that will bump up the resolution to 1080p on the PlayStation 4 Pro. You thought that it was going to get bumped up to that on the PlayStation 4. Oh, man, I'm laughing at that. Not because it couldn't be possible, but because it was the way that they worded it. They got me too. I was like, oh, shucks, how the heck they do that? No, it's for the Pro. But, which will also improve the shadows and reflections. Now, there has also been an expansion added entitled Survival. Now, the expansion will sell for $14.99 and will require a 2.6 gigabyte god doggone update. So you need to clear out 2.6 gigs of hard drive space if you want to get this Survival expansion. Man, you know what? God dog, man. Look, listen, Microsoft, if you listening, buddies, okay, if y'all are listening, gentlemen, ladies, you know, whoever's over there on that staff, y'all better doggone have a 2 terabyte hard drive in the daggone Scorpio. Because this 1 terabyte, this thing is getting eaten up. I'm telling you, if you don't do that, Microsoft, just make sure, make sure that you still continue to support external hard drives. Because I'm going to tell you, that 4 terabyte that I have, oh my gosh, it has been worth every last nickel and cent that I have paid on it, because, man, I'm telling you, I'm just throwing games on it left and right, and it just seems like an endless supply of space, and I have been loving it. So doggone 2.6 gigs. Make sure you clear that off of your hard drive for the Division. And once again, PlayStation 4 Pro, you're getting a 1080p update on the game for your visuals. Moving on into some Battlefield news. Now, Battlefield 1 has released a map for free entitled Giant's Shadow, which at one point only people with the season pass received. Now, if you're wondering about the name of the map, which is called Giant's Shadows, it actually got its name from massive airship crashes in an open field and is casting its shadow over the battlefield. Anyway, moving on to the next situation here. Now, the following games are going to be available for Xbox Live Gold in January. Now, they are as follows. Now, for the Xbox One, you will be receiving World of Van Helsing Death Trap. Now, that's going to be available from January 1st until the 31st. The second game that you will be getting on the Xbox One, which is really cool actually, is Killer Instinct Season 2 Ultra Edition. Now, that will be available from January 16th until February 15th. Now, for you Xbox 360 owners or guys and gals that are loving the backwards compatibility of the Xbox One, but you guys on the 360 will be receiving from January 1st to the 15th, The Cave, which I think that's that black and white game. I'm not sure, but yeah, hey, you know, it's free. And y'all know my motto, if it's free, it's for me. The next game that they'll be releasing, this is going to be available from January 16th until January 31st. It's going to be Rayman Origins. So if any of you guys have the games, the physicals or anything of that sort, you can go ahead and pop in these games and enjoy them. Enjoy it. All on the Xbox One, or if you just have a 360, it's still all good because you can enjoy them over there as well. Moving on down this daggone line, in more PC news, it appears that Just Cause 3 is getting a multiplayer beta that has actually started today, which was actually 2 days ago. So some of you guys that have already been keeping up with it, you know. But if you weren't available, yes, Just Cause 3 is getting once again a multiplayer beta. Now, according to Nano's official forum, they expect to release a stable 1.0 build for the multiplayer by January or February. Right now, the mod is only available for PC, but Avalanche Studios did say that they are considering bringing it to console. Let me tell you something about Just Cause 3. It sucked. Okay, I gotta be honest, man. And you guys know that I never talk trash about a game. I try to be very kind. I try to be respectful. And you know what? I want to say that I respect Avalanche Studios. I respect their efforts. I know it's very hard to make a game, and it does bother me when people just really just crap on a game. Sometimes a game is horrible. It's terrible, and we know it. But to call a developer lazy or say that they were just lacking, and lacking is cool to say, but just to say that they were lazy, these guys work on a game for years at a time, sacrificing, family time and all of that stuff, not seeing the kids. And I know y'all say, but Keys, come on, man, that's what they signed up for, that's what they do. That's very true. I agree. But I also do agree that you can be respectful of a person's their blood, sweat, and tears. So I want to say that, okay, the game, yeah, it sucked. It was terrible. But once again, I respect them. But it was terrible. The thing about Just Cause 3 that I did not like was the frame rate was, goodness gracious, awful. It was horrible. Having to get to some of the objectives, doing things to complete the missions, they were hard, man. There was a freaking wreck. Okay, I'm trying to finish up a mission, trying to pull down a pole, not a pole, but a flag to raise another flag. It was just no fun, and it was frustrating. I mean, that game really tried my patience. I don't trade in games. I don't. I traded that joint in. Let me tell you, that thing was gone. I tried it. I left it alone for a while. I said, hey, maybe you're tripping. Maybe you're just bugging. Go ahead, wait a while, come back to it a little later. I tried it, and it did not work. Game was not good at all. Not for me. It wasn't good. I would still respectfully give it a 6, because it's not the most horrible game out there, okay? I'm not saying I am, but 6. A 6, just terrible. So for any of you guys, though, that are into this game, that love it, that breathe it, that need it, then daggone it, you got a beta for the daggone multiplayer. I thought the premise was great, to be able to blow up buildings and see them just collapse in beautiful fashion. That's what I was expecting to see. And yes, they do explode and they fall, but God, dog, the game just has situations. It did, and I don't know, did some of you guys even enjoy it? Because it was just clunky, the daggone, that rope thing that you had to lasso out to grab on the stuff. Oh, it was just, that was one of the worst games I played in 2016, because it did come out this year. It came out in January or February. It was early on. But Avalanche, jeez, man, please do better next time, brother. God, dog. Moving on into some more news on this daggone track. Now, despite Nintendo stock dropping a little bit, Super Mario Run has managed to put up some good numbers. Now, according to an app intelligence firm called App Annie. Yeah, it's hard knock life, buddy. The game's first 3 days on the market, the game was downloaded 37 million times worldwide and made 14 million in revenue. Now, breaking down the different territories. Now, the USA download numbers were 11 million. The UK numbers for downloads was 1.5 million. And the Japan numbers were 7.5 million. And 17 million downloads account for the rest of the other territories. Now, I gotta tell you guys, well, territories worldwide, I couldn't believe it. The U.S. actually downloaded the daggone game more than Japan, but yet they get more Nintendo daggone minis than we do, or Famicoms than we do. You know what? I'm bitter. Yeah, I'm a little bitter. Okay, Nintendo, you let me down yet again. Yet again, Nintendo. I said, hey man, I can't wait to get my hands on this mini. I'm excited. I'm pumped up. I'm ready. You know, Nintendo is supposed to be turning over a new leaf. They got the Switch coming out. I'm set. I know they're gonna look out. They're gonna make a whole boatload of these things and it's gonna be all good. Nope. Leave it to Nintendo to do the same things that they do. You know, I'm being hard on Nintendo because I'm mad. I'm just mad. I want them to do better, and they should be better. But anyway, getting back to these daggone numbers that they put up with Mario Run. Now, as far as spending money on the game, the USA spent $8 million on it. And Japan spent $3 million. The US spent $8 million. You know what? Let's just keep on moving, daggit. The UK spent $600,000. You know what? The UK is probably upset like me, saying I'm getting tired of Nintendo doing this stuff to me all the time, god dog it. You know what? Well, hey, we're going to keep moving on. Wait a minute. And the other regions spent $2.4 million. So out of all of those, the US spent the most money by far. The most revenue came in from the U.S. Now, keep in mind, this is the doozy. Keep in mind, the game did these numbers only being available for Apple devices and not Android. And also one more thing to consider, which is the even bigger kicker, is this game costs $10. $10 doggone dollars to download. It costs $10 on the App Store. I don't even know of too many different titles that are available for $10 on the App Store. I don't have an Apple phone. I'm not into Apple. You can keep them. They're overrated to me. I have an Android and I absolutely love the daggone Android, but it's not even available for the device. Now I'm not tripping. Because they're saying that, hey, eventually it's going to come to the Android. They obviously worked the deal out with Apple. Nintendo, get your coins. No pun intended, but get your coins. But this is amazing. The game costs $10. Only released on iOS devices and Apple devices, which I believe they're one and the same. I could be wrong, but I think they are. And they put up these numbers. Could you imagine if they had the Android as well, how they could have really skyrocketed their numbers? But either way, this is good news for Nintendo. Yes, I'm very bitter. I'm mad at Nintendo, but the last thing I want to see is Nintendo go away. I just want them to get better. I want them to do better. I think that us, the people, the supporters of Nintendo, deserve better. I mean, I can't put myself in a supporter, doggone spot. Well, yeah, I can, because any Nintendo daggone system that's ever come out, I have bought. Despite my feelings, I still love Nintendo, but daggone, man, you got to do better than this, Nintendo. The Switch is coming up real soon. What are you going to do? They're already saying it's underpowered. They're already saying it's 4 gigs of RAM. Come on, Nintendo. 4 gigs. Come on, man. Xbox has 8. PlayStation 4 has 8. So again, you Nintendo fans, that's if this is true. And it's all speculation right now, but a lot of the speculation that was speculated on before the Switch was officially announced via that doggone stream video, it was all pretty daggone accurate. So here we go again, Nintendo fans. here you go. The Switch is coming. And once again, Nintendo is getting ready to deliver a underpowered console. Are they going to give you even an online structure? For you Nintendo fans out there, are they going to look out for you? Or are they going to just do the same Nintendo stuff that they always do? So now that means that any ports that they possibly may get, because I'm sure that is a huge turnoff for third-party support. If it's going to be 4 gigs, it's like, why are you doing this to us? We already have set a precedent with the other consoles, but yet you're the new kid on the block. You have the newest console, but yet you're going to do this again. You know what, Nintendo? We're done. You know, we're not going to do this with y'all. We're done. Third-party support may come in here and there. But Nintendo, you got to do better. Nintendo hasn't done better or really good or competed, in my opinion, since the Super Nintendo era. That was the last time Nintendo, in my opinion, really put it all on the line and competed. Ever since the N64, I threw my hands up. I bought the N64 and I said, dag, man, this is just not the move. I give them credit. I give them props for inventing the analog stick. Nintendo will always be the kings of innovation. I don't take that away from them, but God, dog, can you innovate on your hardware? Can you do that, Nintendo? Moving on. Jeez, me Christmas. Now, this is the last story. This is a short show. Now, due to a licensing deal with Scuff last year, Microsoft is kicking it up a notch, where you will be able to customize your Elite controller through the Scuff Elite customization program, starting at a price point of $149.99. Now, there are also over 24 designs to choose from, broken down into 5 categories. Let's go over the categories. First category is Scuff Elite Carbon Fiber Collection, my bad. It's actually Scuff Elite Carbon Fiber Collection, Scuff Elite Designer Collection, Scuff Elite Prestige Collection, and Scuff Elite Spectrum Collection as well. Now, with so many options, I'm sure that $150 price tag could easily go up to over 200. So I think, not Nintendo, they are just on my brain, man. But I think Microsoft is doing a very, very good thing here. A lot of people really gravitated to the Elite controller. Well, I'm not going to say a lot, but the numbers were much better than Microsoft was anticipating for the controller. So I know that once they had actually said that they were going to be giving players the chance to design their own controller, would that include the Elite controller? Well, it looks like they did listen, and they're going to give you guys out there that want the Elite customized controller the chance to do so. So that is about it for the news of the week. It was a couple of other stories that came out. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Just as bonus points, Microsoft is having this sale tomorrow, starting on the 22nd, where they were saying games are like 65 and 75% off. I saw Final Fantasy 15 in there. I was like, oh, buddy, I might have to jump on that. I saw a doggone Watch Dogs in there. I said, oh, buddy, I might have to jump on that too. Watch Dogs 2, that was. But yeah, I'm really excited. I can't wait. I'm pretty amped up. But you know what? I'm going to switch the format up here. I want to jump right into the feedback section. I don't want to take a break because this is such a short show. And unfortunately, the last show for this year. But let's jump into it. You know he had to do it. Shout out to Cody Clark. God, dog, you get the MVP award this year, brother. You are a MVP. I'm telling you, this man has been so consistent. You're like Cal Ripken back in the Baltimore Orioles, who barely, I think he missed like 1 or 2 games, something like that, where it was basically a flawless record. Cody has been so dirt flawless this year. Every single week, he's doggone text the show and, left an email, actually, not text, but left an email. So, Mr. Cody Clark, you are the MVP this year. I'm going to have to send you something, brother. I have to send you something for that. So, I want to jump on into his email. He says, to Goose's point, as he talked about a specific company owning the company that makes the chips for the Wii U. He sent me actually a link to Kotaku to confirm it. And he says, he continues to say, yep, so they will just let it die because somebody made their hardware cost an exact amount. Business is playing dirty and nobody calls out when it's done because the fanboy is strong in the internet. You know, for you guys that might not be aware, and Cody, thank you so much for the email. Greatly appreciated, brother. But for you guys that might not be aware or might have missed that episode where Goose had actually sent the email in about Nintendo pertaining to my question, me asking, why won't they drop the price point of the daggone Wii U? I mean, it's failing miserably. Just do a burn sale and get rid of it. Well, the point is they can't drop the price point, because of the structure of the agreement that they made. It's impossible. This already set in stone. They can't move on it. They would be losing even more money. So, it just goes to show nobody, and I mean, that's a good point, Cody. Nobody has talked about this. Yes, it's articles. Yes, it's out there. I mean, the information is not being hidden, but nobody is talking about it. So Nintendo, they gotta let it die. I mean, it's it. The Nintendo, the Wii U is out of production right now. It's over. It's finished. I'm just hoping, Cody, I'm really hoping, man, that they do better with the Switch. I'm being hard on Nintendo this episode because I'm still salted, man. I'm real salty about not being able to pick up a daggone Nintendo Mini, but hey, next year's coming. It's gonna die down, chill out. And I'm sure I'm going to be able to pick one up freely right off of the shelf, the store shelf, that is, and not have to worry about people charging these outrageous prices. But hey, it is what it is. It's capitalism at its finest. But that, my friend, is going to wrap up the feedback section. Thank you, Mr. Cody Clark. He also sent in 2 other emails, one pertaining to building a PC. I have thought about it, Cody. I don't think I'm going to get into PC gaming, man. I said that I probably was. Nah, brother, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be able to. It's just not for me. I really enjoy just gaming on a TV. I know people say that you can hook it up to your TV and it'll be just fine, but I don't think I'm really going to dabble into it. I'm going to see what the Scorpio does, what updates will come to the PlayStation 4 Pro. We all know that they'll never compare to the doggone PC, but having that mindset of knowing that once I pop in the disc or I'm ready to play the game, it just boots up and I don't have to do any calibrations on the game or any of that stuff, tinkering around with the graphics sliders and all of that jazz. It's just better for me. I love simple. I love simple. It works for me, just to pop the doggone game in there, and that's it. That's it. I repeated that way too much. But the last question that I want to ask you guys for this year and you guys can feel free to call in or send an email, is what were your top 5 games of 2016? I thought about this. I missed out on a lot of games. I didn't play quite a few of them. The Last Guardian, I didn't get around to that. I didn't get around to Watch Dogs. I didn't get around to Final Fantasy 15. Along with various others that I just did not have the time to get to. But my list, as far as, according to me, some people may disagree. That's cool. That's fine. But for me, in no specific order, the top 5 games for me of 2016, I have to say, would be not Ori and the oh, darn it, I already started off wrong. Inside was a great game. Did not understand the story at all. I mean, I really didn't. I don't know if I was, like I said previously, I don't know what I was. If I was a good guy, bad guy, fighting the fight, the good fight or the bad fight. I was infiltrating the place. I didn't get it, but I loved it. It was such a great game. Had a blast with that. The next game I would say would be Titanfall 2. Now, I said before, and I stand by it, I don't think it should have got a nomination for Game of the Year. That's like, man, come on, are you bananas or what? No, it shouldn't have got that, but I had such a great time with the game. It was just a fun game. Had a good time with the campaign, the robot. It was a pretty daggone great ride. Loved it. The next game up, which would be in the 3rd slot, I would have to say Uncharted, man. Uncharted 4 was really, really good. Solid game. Had a blast with it. I stand by what I said. To me, it's not the best in the series, but wow, what a not a phenomenal game, but what a great game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Graphically, unbelievable. The story, I thought it was a good story. I really did. I thought it had some pacing issues myself, but the story was good. Voice acting, of course, great, top-notch talent. Just a fantastic game, man. But a game that I actually, sorry about that, enjoyed more than Uncharted 4, shockingly, was Ratchet and Clank. Oh, man. That game, to me, I gotta, I was playing it back in my mind. Really replaying that game back through my mind. And I said, wow, I might have had the most fun with Ratchet and Clank. That might have been my most fun game. The most fun game that I played this year. The game was just that good and that entertaining. Beautiful game to look at. Gameplay was so silky smooth, man. Had such a good time with that game. Oh, it was great. But I would have to say that the next game, number 5, definitely Gears of War 4. Oh, bravo. Just a fantastic game. I had such a good time with it. Graphically, oh, come on. Graphically, it was such a great looking game. Gameplay was great. It didn't change the wheel. No, it didn't try anything different. No, it did it take any risks? No. But Gears 4 was Gears. It was the game that we've always played. Now, I'm hoping that the coalition will take a little more chances. That was bad grammar. A few more chances in the next one. But I was very, very impressed by what I played. And I really feel like the franchise is in great hands. So those were my top 5 for the year, but I have to give an honorable mention, and you guys can feel free to do the same. Honorable mention would have to be Mafia 3. It has to be. Now, I gotta tell you, Mafia 3 is the best 7 out of 10 game I have ever played, man. Well, I'm not gonna say ever played. People daggone use that too loosely. I'm not gonna say ever played, but it was just a solid, for it to be a 7 out of 10, for me personally, it was the most solid 7 out of 10 game I have ever played. The story was such a top-notch story. It was just told so well. The gameplay, even though just basic run-of-the-mill gameplay, it was average at best, it was still fun. Environments weren't that great, weren't that stellar. Average, background drop and all of that stuff. Not a very interactive world like a GTA would be. But despite, though, a couple of glitches too, same enemies running at the same spot where you picked off 18 other people. Here comes another guy, same place, and gets picked off. I mean, the AI was not that great. They were not bright at all. But despite those problems, daggone, the game was just so daggone good. I really enjoyed it. I wanted it to be much better. It unfortunately didn't deliver, but I wasn't, I was disappointed, but I wasn't mad at my purchase. So Mafia 3, you definitely get a nod. It was really good. I'm hoping that they do much better if there is a sequel, but please feel free to tell me your top 5 games of the year. I'd be very interested to know. You can get in contact with the show and do that by emailing your answers to the Analog Circle Podcast at gmail.com, or you can call into the show and leave your answers at 443-261-4607. I really want you guys to be a part of the conversation, so please call in. Also, before I forget, I have to give some shout outs to some people. I got to give major shout outs to Mr. Mastino Davis. He was supposed to have been on the show. I'm hoping to get him on real soon, but shout out to Mastino Davis. He was actually the first person I ever got feedback from on the Analog Circle Podcast, on the show. He was like, this is actually, he told me how he felt about it, and I really appreciated that. He actually had told me, about that on SoundCloud, where you can find the podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, Audio Mac, iHeartRadio, whatever, man. Just find it. Look it up. But shout out to Mastino Davis. He's always been very active in the group, in the Facebook group, putting up different stories, telling his take on different things that are going on in the industry. So shout out to Mastino, and also a big shout out to Mr. Chad Harper as well. This guy right here, Mr. Chad Harper, is always posting stuff in the Facebook group. I mean, and I'm like, daggone, it's amazing to see, because I'll be looking up different things, different stories, and he'll already have it up like 10 minutes before I even find it. So, I mean, props to you, Mr. Chad Harper. Thank you guys, you and Mastino, for your continued support over there on the Facebook group. And if you guys want to join the Facebook group, feel free. It's the Analog Circle. You can find it right on Facebook. It's an open group. So, come on in, join the chat, say what you say. And, let's just keep it respectful. But hey, debates are always welcome. But I had to shout out those two guys, along with everybody else, for always showing their support. It's just so great to, get the support of people that listen, they tune in, and, just to get the feedback from Cody Clark every week. God, dog, it's just amazing. It makes the show worth doing. I said the sure. It makes the show worth doing. So I can't wait to get back at it with you guys next year. Next year is going to be much better than this year, and we're going to just keep this train running. So I shall return, let's say, let's look at the calendar so I don't tell y'all a false date, and so I don't forget. I should be back, we're going to shoot for January 8th. I should be back, the show should be back, and should be refreshed for the 2017 daggone calendar year. And we got some big news coming in January with Nintendo. Nintendo, please don't botch this. Please make me want to buy this console. Please lure me in. So we will definitely have that to look forward to next year. And once again, truly, from the bottom of my heart, I humbly thank all of you guys, men and women who have tuned in, downloaded the podcast, who have spread the word about the Analog Circle. Thank you, Goose, for that. I appreciate that. Shout out to Goose, man. I can't forget Goose. This guy's been awesome. He was the first person on the show to give a donation to the doggone show. So, shout out to him, Mr. Goosens. Man, just thank you guys so much. Greatly appreciate it. I'm not going to talk your ear off anymore, but I'm going to say until next year, when we do it again, y'all. You guys take care. Thank you guys again so much, but be safe out there. Bye-bye.